Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving into an absolutely massive paradigm shift happening in real estate marketing. It seems like the old days of just sticking a for sale sign in the front yard and relying entirely on an agent's physical legwork. Well, those days are fading fast. Instead, real estate pros are tapping into a much more powerful digital force. Today, we're looking at the drone advantage and how aerial tech and video marketing are completely rewriting the rules on how we browse, buy, and sell property. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our clear roadmap for today. First, the digital house hunt. Second, by the numbers video ROI. Third, inside the drone tour. Fourth, costs and hiring pros. And finally, the future of aerial real estate. We'll cover the why and the pragmatic how. All right, part one, the digital house hunt. Let's look at the new reality of real estate. So to really understand why drones are such a game changer, we first have to figure out where the modern buyer is actually spending their time. According to a joint study by Google and the National Association of Realtors, it's called the Digital House Hunt, a staggering 92% of home buyers use the internet to help them buy a home. Think about that. More than 9 out of 10 buyers are starting their journey on a screen. The initial point of contact has completely shifted away from the brick-and-mortar office and directly onto the web. And building on that, the data shows that the average homebuyer spends 3 full weeks researching real estate online before they ever even say hello to an agent. 3 weeks! Just think about how much content a motivated buyer consumes in 21 days. With buyers silently browsing, judging, and eliminating options for almost a month, a basic, boring feed to the local MLS just doesn't cut it anymore. Standing out digitally? It's literally no longer optional. Moving to Section 2, by the numbers, video ROI. We're proving the value of aerial footage here. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive gaping hole between what people want and what the industry is actually providing. The National Association of Realtors found that 85% of buyers and sellers prefer to work with an agent who uses video. But, check this out, only 15% of agents are actually using videos in their listings. That is the definition of a huge untapped audience, and it's an instant competitive edge for any savvy agent willing to step up. And when you do step up and provide that video, the results are nothing short of explosive. A study released by Domain.com found that video increased listing inquiries by an unbelievable 403%. And keep in mind, inquiries are so much more qualitative than just passive page views. We're talking about generating over 4 times the number of high-quality, actionable leads compared to listings without video. We've all heard the old saying, right? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, according to Forrester research, that is a massive understatement today. They actually calculate that just 1 minute of video is the equivalent of 1.8 million words. If you want buyers to remember your listing, aerial video delivers this dense, rich layer of information and emotion that standard photos simply cannot touch. To really drive this return on investment point home, let's look at the speed of the transaction. According to MLS statistics, homes with aerial images sold 68% faster than homes with just standard images. A faster sale is the ultimate metric of success in real estate, right? This proves that aerial video isn't just some flashy gimmick. It's a highly effective, data-backed sales tool that gets properties off the market fast. All right, Section 3, inside the drone tour. Let's talk about what these cameras actually capture. Unmanned aircraft systems give us this incredible physical context. We're talking about mapping out exact property boundaries, simulating what a walk down the street would actually feel like, and clearly showing how close the home is to community amenities. The ultimate goal here is to make the client feel like they are virtually already home. Just imagine the cinematic quality of this experience. Real estate photographers can grab these dramatic, sweeping shots from 1,000 feet in the air to highlight the whole property, followed by seamless, gliding fly-arounds of the home's exterior. You can literally take the drone on a virtual neighborhood tour, letting buyers clearly picture their morning drive to drop the kids off at school or the commute to the grocery store. It builds a really powerful emotional connection way before they ever physically visit. So, the crucial point is how we actually pull this off. Section 4. Costs and hiring pros. Let's get into the practical business logistics. The barrier to entry in this space used to be massive. Back in the day, getting aerial footage meant hiring a literal helicopter or an airplane. You were easily looking at $10,000 or more. Unless you were selling a literal castle, it just didn't make sense. But drones have totally democratized this. Today, an average drone pro might charge anywhere from $350 to $1,000. And entry packages, they can start at just $250. High-quality aerial marketing is completely accessible now, even for modest homes. Now, a quick warning here. Flying a drone at the park seems easy, but operating one commercially for real estate is highly regulated. You really need to hire a pro, and the source material gives us this exact checklist. Make sure they hold an FAA commercial drone license, ensure they carry proper liability insurance, look for specific real estate experience, check the references, and get a defined price list upfront so there are no surprises. And remember, just getting the raw video file in your inbox isn't the finish line. You have to distribute it to get those eyeballs. Once you have the footage, actively post it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of them. The whole strategy is to let social algorithms drive those vital click-throughs back to your primary listing website. You want that video to convert to a sale, so whatever you do, don't let great footage just sit unnoticed on a single webpage. Let's pan out a bit and see how this builds into the broader industry. Section 5, Future of Aerial Real Estate, expanding beyond the basic listing. The sky is quite literally the limit when it comes to this tech. Beyond those sweeping marketing videos, drones are taking over so many dull but necessary jobs. Property managers are using them for quick appraisals and safe home inspections. For risk assessment, they're invaluable for safely documenting natural disaster damage and tracking land erosion. And developers? They're using them to build incredibly detailed 3D models to determine the absolute best use of land and resources. Which leads us to a final provocative thought to close out our explainer today. In today's hyper-competitive digital house hunt, knowing the massive ROI and the 68% faster sales, is a property listing without a drone video truly a listing at all? Or is it simply an invisible drop in a digital ocean? It is definitely something to seriously reconsider as you look at your approach to real estate marketing. Thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, keep learning.